Welcome to Jen's Daily Dish. Today we're going to be making sourdough English muffins. Why? Because English muffins are delicious, and yes, you can buy them easily at the supermarket, but they are so much better when they are hot off your griddle. Trust me on this. And also because it uses sourdough, uses discard sourdough. It's an English muffin. Oh, yum. Nori wants me to remind you that this is a great way to use up that sourdough unfed discard. Isn't that right? Yeah, she says yes. This recipe comes together so quickly and is a super easy way to use your sourdough unfed discard that you want to get rid of every single week. Oh, and I've got other recipes to take care of that too. The recipe itself makes 24 English muffins. I only want to make 12, so I'm cutting the recipe in half. The recipe calls for a sour salt or citric acid. I don't have either of those. It adds extra sour flavor to the dough, so we're just going to skip it. If you've liked what you've seen so far, don't forget to click the like button, that thumbs up, and subscribe. It really helps me out. I appreciate it. Combine all of your ingredients in the bowl except for the semolina or cornmeal for coating. We're going to mix it all together, let it rest. You're pretty much halfway done already. 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 cup warm water, ½ tablespoon instant yeast. It's going to love that sugar. ½ cup sourdough starter, the unfed discard. Oh, yes. 3½ cups all-purpose flour. 1/4 cup non-fat dry milk. 2 tablespoons room temperature butter. ½ tablespoon salt. Knead until it forms a smooth dough. Let's check the dough. It should be soft and elastic and not sticky. If it is, add a tablespoon of flour at a time. The dough is soft and it does have elasticity to it. Did you see that? How it bounces back? It's not sticking to my hands. It's just where it needs to be. Put it in a lightly greased bowl and let it rest for 1.5 hours. If you want a more pronounced sourdough flavor, go ahead and take your dough, place it in the lightly greased bowl, and put it in the refrigerator for up to 24 hours. Look how puffy that got. That is perfect. Go ahead, deflate the dough, turn it out onto your work surface. If it's not a silicone mat like this, go ahead and put it on a lightly floured work surface. And just let it relax for a little bit. It relaxes the gluten. Let the dough, really let the gluten relax. So it's going to take a nap for a couple minutes. Divide the dough in half. All right, working with 1/2 at a time. Get this to about 1/2 inch thick. So we're going to roll it out a bit. You can see the gluten's relaxed because it's not pulling back quite so quickly. Let's try to get to 1/2 inch. And how will I know when I've got there? Because I've got my handy dandy pastry cutter and there is 1/2 inch and I'm going to measure it. So let's see, that's about Right. Okay, first try. How about that? If you have a biscuit cutter that's 3 inches, use that. This is actually 3 1/4, but I'm going to use it anyway. By using a biscuit cutter, you're going to get sharper edges, which will allow for a more even rise. Move them on over to a baking sheet with cornmeal on it. So you get that lovely cornmeal crust that an English muffin typically has on it. Re-roll your leftovers so that you can make new. Sprinkle the tops with additional cornmeal. And then we're going to let them rest for about 45 to 60 minutes until they're nice and light and puffy. Okay, they look very light and puffy and are going to be so good. What you're going to want to do, if you have an electric griddle, heat that to 350 degrees. I don't have an electric griddle. So I'm going to use a non-stick pan and cook them for about 8 to 10 minutes per side. And then they're going to be done and they're registered to 190 degrees. And then we're going to have so many yummy, fresh, warm English muffins. Set your non-stick pan to medium-low. Place them on your pan. You can fit a few on at a time. They puffed up. Let's flip them. Nice golden brown, just like you would expect. Let's check the temperature with my handy dandy instant thermometer. Should be 190 degrees. So let's check that out. Let's see where we are. Oh, we are there. Time to come off. You can use your hands. Next batch goes on. You know what this means. It's just about time to try them. You can let them cool to room temperature, but I dare you to try. They smell delicious, and they're going to be so good, nice and warm with some butter and some jam. Okay, let's open it up. Look at that. You can see it does have some nooks and crannies, maybe not as many as you'd find in your store-bought English muffins, but they are still delicious. Let's take a look at it a little bit closer up. Let me take a smell. The exterior of it, you'll notice it's a nice golden brown, and it has a nice sound to it, which means it's going to be a little crisp. There's only one thing left to do. Oh yes, let's taste them. Let's give it a try. It tastes exactly like a store-bought English muffin. Or better yet, an English muffin that you would pay a lot for in a custom coffee shop or a special breakfast place or a bakery. But you made it. And if I can do this, you can too, for real. You can make your own English muffins. They're light and they have a great chew to them, and then the exterior of them has a little bit of crunch, just like if it was toasted in your own toaster. If I can do this, I mean, make my own English muffins, heck, you can too. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video with your friends and family so they too can make English muffins.